Hey everyone, welcome to 3D6 Down the Line, the most criminally underwatched actual play series on the internet. Welcome back to Dolmenwood, everybody, or welcome to Dolmenwood for the very first time. This is our episode 0, character generation and campaign intro to our new exclusive Patreon campaign of Dolmenwood by Necrotic Gnome. My name is John. I will be the referee for the campaign, and going around the horn we have...
Hi, I'm Mike, and I'm playing nobody yet.
Hi, I'm David, and I'm playing Mike.
Hi, that's pretty good. Hi, everybody. I'm Matt, and my whimsy is set to 11. And people have come to me and said, Matt, why don't you just make 10 more whimsical? And I tell you, it's because my whimsy goes to 11.
Nerds.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ted, and I clearly forgot to plan ahead with fancy glasses and witty comebacks, so I'm just going to play Ted tonight.
Nice. So this is the group. Welcome, everybody. We assume that a lot of people may be checking this channel out for the very first time to get their much-needed Dolmenwood fix. So just to give you a quick intro for all the newbies out there, we are 3D6 Down the Line. We are a group of longtime friends. We have been playing for a very long time together, even before we decided to throw our mugs up onto the internet. Some of us have been playing with each other for close to about 25 years. So we are a well-established group of friends. On our channel here at 3D6 Down the Line, we focus mostly on independent TTRPGs, and a lot of them focus on the OSR movement specifically. We really like that sort of play style. It gels well with our personalities and what we like to see in our games. We have published 2 campaigns already, 2 major campaigns. One was our very first one was a Dolmenwood campaign. It was about 22 episodes. That original Dolmenwood campaign actually used the old school essentials rules, also by Necrotic Gnome. They have since been morphed into the Dolmenwood's own rule set, which is heavily based upon old school essentials. And our other campaign was the 115 episode long The Halls of Ardenvool Mega Dungeon, also using the old school essential system by Necrotic Gnome. We are currently running a new campaign of Mothership, the sci-fi horror RPG. We're having a lot of fun with that so far. And generally what we do is we basically turn on the cameras. You're getting a look into what our real life sessions really are like when we are online. We pride ourselves on maximum transparency. We have very, very little, if any, artifice, frankly. And we do minimal editing. We embrace metagaming. And we also... I enjoy anyway showing the GM's side of things. So you'll often see like the notes and the PDFs that I am referencing. And you'll also see the maps that we all share together and notes that we take and all that sort of good stuff on the screen. So we're also very proud of the fantastic community that we've engendered throughout the years across all of our socials, especially our Discord community server that is free to join. There will be a link down below, so please join us and join in the conversation. For this specific campaign, we're trying something new. So this episode 0, and episode 1 will be freely available to the public for all time, just like all of our other content that has been previously published. However, subsequent episodes, starting in episode 2, so we give you a little bit of a taste. Episode 2 and forward will be for a Patreon exclusive for paid tier subscribers to Patreon. So I'm going to be throwing up a QR code right over there, which you can pause the video right now and scan that and go straight to our Patreon subscribe. That QR code will also be at the very end of the episode, and that URL will also be down in the description below. So if you enjoy this and you want to follow along, get your Dolmenwood fix, definitely subscribe to the Patreon. You'll also get extra benefits about like access to secret channels where you can discuss the spoilers for the campaign, and an extra secret channel for Patreon subscribers where you can discuss the game without these 4 nitwits allowed in. So you can actually
you can
bounce
talk
ideas
shit
off
about
of me.
us.
Yeah, so you can talk about the product, you can talk about campaign, the world secrets, and all that sort of stuff without the players ever knowing. That's all if you subscribe to the Patreon. So go ahead and do so. A lot of fun benefits. Okay, So that is the deal with 3D6 down the line. So let's move into Dolmenwood itself. I apologize in advance, by the way. You're going to hear me talk a lot more than these guys in this episode. It's just the nature of the game as we introduce things. Sorry. I would apologize to these guys, but they're whatever.
You don't care.
I'm surprised you haven't muted our mics, to be honest with you.
Yeah, really. I should have thought
The
of that.
one mic I want to mute.
Oh, hey, with a K. So Dolmenwood, most of you who are longtime fans of 3D6 Down the Line may already be familiar with this game. And if you're a general gamer, you may have heard about it as well. It's made a lot of waves in the TTRPG scene. We are very much looking forward to here in the U.S. to get our physical copies. We know that a lot of people across the world are starting to get theirs. But, for reasons that we won't go into, U.S. is kind of left in the lurch right now. But may probably in the future, we'll all have had it in our hands. We'll be very happy to see it. So anyways, Dolmenwood is a TTRPG and a setting in one. It is a dark fairy tale setting set in a enchanted, perilous forest that is inspired heavily by British folklore. This is all, most of it is the brainchild of Gavin Norman, otherwise known as Necrotic Gnome. So there are lots of elements of whimsy and horror and humor sort of mixed throughout. And what's really cool about the setting is that those dials for each of those sort of themes can be ratcheted up and down according to your table's desire. And you can kind of lean more heavily and pull back on some others depending on what you want to do. The setting itself can be slightly anachronistic in almost like a kind of a humorous, fairy tale sort of way. Gunpowder is not existent, but you will see elements of like 18th century dangerous liaisons aspects to it, although in general you're looking at like a late medieval sort of tech level. There is a lot of faction play as the default in the game in the setting, so we're looking at the how players and characters interact as adventurers with a whole slew of noble houses, fairy lords, fairy kingdoms, a secretive cabal of arcane magic users known as the Droon, a chaotic godling known as the Nag Lord, the witches' covens that are hidden in the dark corners of the forest, and the waning influence, much to their chagrin, of the Pluralitine Church, which is sort of like a Roman Catholic analog. So that's just a few of the major factions that you have the chance to interact with. It's lots of fun. The procedural aspect of the game, the core of gameplay, is what's known as a hexcrawl. Veteran RPG players out there know this form of play. It's basically where the party travels across the land using a map that has discrete 6-mile hexes, and each hex has a number of features on it that are waiting to be discovered and interacted with. Some are more hidden than others. Actually, let me just switch us right over to Miro, our online whiteboard right here, and you can see Dolmenwood in all of its glory. So if we zoom in to the southwestern area here, you can kind of see these individual hexes where they're numbered, right? 0209, 0210, 0310. And if we move to the left here, I've actually added off the map 2 templates that these players can use if they wish. They're probably going to find something artistically wrong with it, but screw them. One indicating like a fully explored hex, and one is like a partially explored hex with just an outline. So what they could do, for instance, is they could, let's see, we could duplicate this and move it over to a hex right here. And that would indicate that they have explored that hex because it's got a nice, like, transparent outline on it.
Love it.
So, something like that, right?
That's pretty cool. And
Hey, John, have you thought about maybe a
yellow?
yellow? Oh, sorry. We were both trolling John at the same time. I said, John, have you thought about making that maybe like a yellow stroke on a diamond instead of
for you listeners out there, it was a red outline with a red border, but someone's going to have something to say, and that'll look vastly different in an episode. I can guarantee it,
Glitter.
with tons of other better ideas. But in general, they're going to use this as their base of operations for traveling across the land. You'll see this on the screen whenever you watch the campaign, and there should be some sort of visual indicator of how much they have explored of the region. Of the entire hex. So to be clear too, the entire campaign, scrolling back here, will be on this map. So even though I have taken pains to place this forest in a larger context, in a larger world, that world's history and lore and geography will very, very rarely enter into it. Similar, if you've watched our Ardent Fool campaign, where I really wanted to focus on the mega dungeon itself rather than the surrounding lands, this will be the same thing, but in a wilderness environment where basically if they leave this map, they're basically not allowed to leave the map. They're going to have to find reasons to stay on the map. We're just not going to be exploring a wider world. This forest itself is vast, and every single hex is jammed with gameable content. So they should have plenty to handle.
Can we make notes on this map? Like, say we go to hex 0406 and we explore it thoroughly, and we finally find a group of people that enjoy David's company. We want to note that down in the hex.
Yes. That's so mean.
For now. For now.
But yes, that is the case. I mean, it's Miro, so you guys can make whatever notes you want on it. But this will be the main map. All right. So that's also a good reason if you're listening why you might want to watch instead, because you'll be able to see all this visually. All right.
Unless you're driving.
Yeah, please don't do so if you're driving. That would be horrible. Okay, so let's go back here to... I don't have my shortcuts worked out yet. All right. So our game, our table of Dolmenwood is not going to be the same as you out there, as your game of Dolmenwood. So we're happy to inspire. It always brings us great joy when you hear stories of inspiring your game. But no two tables are alike. No two tables' preferences will be the same. So you do what's right for your people in your group out there with your version of Dolmenwood. But we're going to describe here what we're going to be doing in our specific campaign of Dolmenwood, which will also be different than our previous campaign of Dolmenwood. It's going to be different. So what I'd like to see these guys do in our game is to be a focus on exploration and interaction with the settings elements. That's, for me, would be the primary goal for the campaign, which is very similar to our original campaign. So with that in mind, we're talking about key elements being player agency and player-generated goals, would be the primary drivers for the story that emerges as we sort of play. Right, so I will be in a almost completely reactive role to what the player's wishes and goals are, and we'll just let the story sort of unfold around them. There will be some, I wouldn't say guardrails, because that kind of gives the impression that we're railroading, but there'll just be some limitations as to like where we're starting and what they're playing and all that sort of good stuff, all bounded by house rules and things like that. But other than that, I basically give them free reign, and I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just basically going to present the situation and let them go to town and have fun in the setting. So what makes this different than the old campaign or our short jaunt into the Red Cap's Cauldron adventure is that we have decided off screen that we are all going to be starting as Breggle, a total Breggle party, baby.
Not a coordinated horn. We just all are that cheesy. That was actually. I'm sorry to interrupt, John. For the listeners, all of us did horns on our heads immediately, and that.
And for those who are not aware, Breggle are the goat folk kindred of Dolmenwood. With them all being Breggle, that basically by default puts them in the southwestern section of Dolmenwood, which is called the High Wold. It's a mostly forest and Dolmenwood, but also some of the farmland that's south of it, and it's ruled in tandem by noble Breggle and human houses. The general area of the High Wold's become fairly unsafe and dangerous recently due to the very lax rule of the young human Baron Hogwarsh in High Henkel, which is the capital of the High Wold. And because he has this very sort of hedonistic lax rule, there's a constant scheming and infighting among the three Breggle lords known as Lord Ramius, Malbleet, and Merkin.
Malbleet, nice.
Malbleet, yeah. So we'll be talking about those guys a little bit later because they will be central to the campaign. There are schemes for power. We will be using the Pleuratine Church pretty much as written in the books. In the older version of Dolmenwood, it was just known as the Church of the One True God, but he's given it a little bit more detail. But what's nice is back in the old campaign, I used my own creation of that church, which was called the Pelietic Church. The Pleuratine Church that Gavin has come up with is surprisingly very compatible with my version of the Pelietic Church. So the Pelietic Church's lore, my own lore, was also what grounded Dolmenwood in the larger setting. The history of the church also aligned with the history of the wider empire and kingdom that Dolmenwood is part of. So I'm going to keep that lore. That will be one relatively significant change from the core books. So I'm not going to call it the Pelietic Church. I will be using the official name, which is the Pleuratine Church. But the dogma, the mandates, the lore surrounding the history and the lore surrounding the church will be of my own creation. But for anyone worried about like, well, then I'm tuning out because I want to make sure that I'm seeing Dolmenwood for what it really is. It really is what's in the book. It's a heavily saint-based worship. So instead of making propitiations to God, you're mostly making propitiations to like your local saint. All holidays are sort of associated with saints and so on and so forth. So,
and for this group, that is me. So
yes, Saint David.
I'll accept donos. I'll accept donos. Bitcoin. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, so it'll be mostly in the background. It'll just be in the terms of history and the liturgical texts and things like that are in use. So tied to that, we will be using. This should be actually news for you guys as well, you the players. We're going to be using the Dolmen rules pretty much as presented in the core books, with only a very light touch, relatively, of house rules, especially if you're used to our Ardenvool campaign, where I heavily house ruled OSC, and we made numerous changes throughout the campaign to sort of adapt to our preferred playstyle. This one, since we're sort of showcasing the game itself, I would like to at least start with using the book as is, and then we're all veteran players, so we know how to house rule whenever we need to, and we'll house rule as we go. There are a few things that I already know aren't going to work for us, so we're going to change, but it's going to be a very light touch. So all of that stuff from Ardenvool, where it was like class hit dice as weapon, nope, it'll be variable weapon damage, just like your old classic D&D, things like that. We'll go through that as we go. Right. Yes, in those few house rules that I do have, those will be linked in the description below in every episode. They will be linked in our resources channel on our Discord server, and they will also be fully presented on our official website, 3d6downtheline.com. The Dolmenwood rules themselves, for anyone who's worried, are very, very similar to Old School Essentials. Very similar. There was a little bit of a mix-up, shall we say, by a fucking horrible corporation that's publicly owned, that caused much dismay amongst indie creators of TTRPGs. And rightfully so, Gavin decided to break away from associating himself with that company. And so tweaked the rules a little bit to make them his own, just enough to be able to call them his own. But in essence, though, they are very similar to Old School Essentials, which for all of you veterans out there is very similar to the... it's basically a modern restatement of the basic and expert rules of Dungeons & Dragons from 1981, which I personally, this is just me speaking, I personally think is the perfect distillation of D&D. All right, that's my big spiel. Now these guys get to actually open their mouths, but not yet. Character generation.
Close.
Actually, I spoke too soon because I need to give them a frame of reference for these Breggle.
Yeah, talk more.
Yeah, I'm going to talk some more. Sorry, I got the deal.
It's a good thing you got a nice voice, John.
I try. Okay,
We'll meddle through.
For everyone who doesn't know, he's actually got a very high-pitched voice, and he does it all in post to give you that velvety low.
It just turned out
It's very,
Real name is Squeaky.
Like grading. Yeah.
You can see on the right side of your screen there that this is the official Dolmenwood character sheet. I'm just leaving up there blank for everyone to take a look at while these guys sort of fill it in as we go through character generation. So now I'm talking to you guys, not the audience out there. So first things first. all Bregel class. Like this is something that I've always wanted to do for a long time, is actually play like a party that's just one kindred that's not human, but like one of the more exotic kindred. We're going to be using kindred plus class, not kindred as class, right? So this is the D&D that modern D&D that everyone's familiar with. So you're going to pick your kindred, which will automatically be Bregel, and then you can pick your class within that. Now, that said, you guys are unique enough to make your guys unique. So I would encourage you to really lean into the Bregel culture, the cultural goals that Bregels have, the political situation that is at hand amongst the Longhorn nobles. So you don't need to be an iconoclast to stand out, in other words, right? Like, you don't have to be that one Bregel who acts like an elf or something like that, right? Like, don't be that guy, all right? Lean into
I already
it.
have my name picked out.
Just lean into it.
I knew David would say something.
And go with it, please. Yeah.
Elora Wispwood.
Yeah.
It's Brackenwald Darkblade the Third,
Yes.
child of the vampire Bregel Prince.
Yeah. Lord Malblee is already like the what do you call it? The platonic ideal of the Bregel edgelord. So there's only room in Dolmenwood for one Bregel edgelord, and he's the one. So don't be that guy.
All right.
Yeah. Just lean into it, please. I'm asking you as a favor. I'm going to give you just a 3-point sort of breakdown of the history surrounding focused around Bregel itself. The history of Dolmenwood itself will come across as we actually explore, so we're not doing a bunch of expo dumps. But this is just a mini expo dump for you, just to sort of frame your decision making as you make your characters. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I haven't determined what the actual starting year is, like what the actual name of the year is, but that doesn't really matter. I'm going to give you sort of years ago this happened. Earliest 2,500 years ago, so more than 2 millennia ago, the Bregel, actually, I don't think you guys actually know this, were the first mortals in Dolmenwood. All right. At the time when the Bregels first sort of wandered in from parts unknown, the fairy lords had dominion over all of Dolmenwood, like all of Dolmenwood. The most powerful of which was the Cold Prince, who had the land under an eternal winter. The Bregels were the first mortal people that actually entered into the wood, and, fascinated by the power and majesty of the fairies, willingly submitted themselves to serving those fairy lords, and gained a lot of benefits from them. Many years later, millennia later, 1,700 years ago, after another kindred of mortals known as the Droon arrived. They lusted after power, and they harnessed the ley lines of magical power in the earth beneath Dolmenwood, and during the height of their arcane potency, long after the fairy lords had receded from Dolmenwood, the Bregel swore fealty to these powerful, as they called them, men-made gods, the Droon. This is at the very height of their power, where they could not be rivaled. So then 200 years later, about 1,500 years ago, there was a Bregel heroine, and her name was Hregel. And she stole a very powerful Droon artifact from the Droon, and she used it to unite all of the Bregel folk against their Droon masters. And there was a big uprising, and the Bregel broke away from the Droon and established their dominion over the High Wold, which is where they still basically hold sway to this day, which is an area to the south of the Droon's realm known as the Dwelmverg. Hregel, though, was killed along the banks of Lake Longmere, which is the great lake and center of arcane power of Dolmenwood. And the Droon cursed all of her folk for 99 generations going forward. And this animosity between Droon and Bregel, although both factions have been diminished over time, remains just as potent today. There is no love lost between those two peoples. The Longhorn nobility of Ramius, Malbleet, and Merkin derive their lineage. This is where they derive their authority, is from the 7 kids, literal kids, right? The 7 children of Hregel. All right, she is like the pinnacle of Bregel kind. All right. So modern day culture of the Breggles. So they rule and live alongside humans. This is key to understand. This is why I'm making them a playable starting kindred. They are subject now to the authority of the Baron of the High Wold in High Hankle. This is Baron Hogwarsh. The Baron of the High Wold answers only to the Duke of Brackenwold. So it's a strong feudal system of vassalage, right? So there's the Duke of Brackenwold, who all of Dolmenwood is part of his great duchy, but not just Dolmenwood, but all of Dolmenwood is underneath the Duke. And then underneath the Duke is the Baron Hogwarsh. And then underneath the Baron are other. There's a human house as well, but all of the Longhorn noble houses are underneath the Baron Hogwarsh. All right. Breggles themselves are divided into two castes: Shorthorns and Longhorns. What's kind of interesting about Breggles is that as they gain wealth and prowess and renown, as in gaining levels, it causes your horns to grow longer. So it's pretty easy to tell who is a powerful, well-known Breggle just by looking at them, right? Like all of the lords are Longhorns, for instance. But you should know that just having Longhorn does not necessarily you will gain admittance and acceptance into the ranks of the nobility, right? That's another matter. But most nobles are Longhorns, right? So it's like all nobles are Longhorns, but not all Longhorns are nobles, sort of thing. Breggles can intermarry with humans. They produce mixed offspring. The one Longhorn lord is the Lord Merkin, is actually a half Breggle. He's a product of intermarriage. The other two are full-blooded Breggle. And they nominally, this is important for class selection and stuff like that, they nominally pay lip service to the Plurtine Church, because the Plurtine Church works in tandem with the duchy, basically. And there are some among Breggle that are truly pious. Like it's not that uncommon, but most Breggle adhere to their ancient customs of ancestor worship, known as the Old Friendlier, which means praising the ancestors. Let's go down to Miro real quick. I'll change it over for the people here. If you look south of the map, so it's Old Friendlier, and I just figured like if we pronounce it like Old Friendlier, that's probably close enough. And it means loosely praising the ancestors, and its holy symbol is a knot of goat horns in a circle, as you can see there. Cool. It's Old Friendlier is more of a philosophy of living rather than like a true religion with dogma, and its tenets and philosophy is very compatible with the Plurtine Church in general. So most Breggle see no problem adhering to its tenets while at the same time revering the god of the Plurtine Church if they'd like, right? So as far as thinking about like how you're going to gel with all four of you together, like what kind of classes you're going to choose and what your motivations are, these are things just to keep in mind. I certainly don't want you to answer them right now, but I just want to have these floating in your head, these sort of questions that you might want to answer. Do you all serve the same lord? Right? Are you servants of one of the three lords? Which one, for that matter? If you do, are you looking to advance that lord's interests? Are you acting as his agents? Or are you more interested in furthering the influence of Breggles as a whole, as a kindred, to see their influence spread more into Dolmenwood, or maybe further south into High Hankle or something like that? Or you might be interested in more diving into the history of the Breggles, investigating the Droon, like making incursions into Droon territory, finding the resting place of Hregel, who was lost on the banks of Lake Longmere, or maybe other famous Breggle ancestors. There's a whole bunch of them because of the religion. Do you want to maybe perhaps engage with your ancient masters, the fairy lords? Right, who you used to worship a long time ago and serve. So yeah, just kind of keep those in mind as we move through character creation. All right.
Cool.
Let's do it. All right. So character creation. So keep all that stuff in mind.
All of it. That's
all of it. Yeah, we got it.
Do you have any any questions just pop up immediately, or are you guys ready to?
No, I got it. I
know what I want to play already.
Yeah, I mean, we'll figure it out. But like, what are the main differences again between the three different Lords, Ramius, Malbleet, and Merkin?
So Ramius is actually, I'll make sure I'm not talking out of my ass here.
That's a good trick.
Let's see.
John, I do see a Longhorn nobility section on Miro that's hidden. Does that have the information there that we could read, or is that something else?
No, I'll get there in a second. Hold on.
Okay, sorry.
Actually, I could probably show that now. Actually, yeah, why not? Why not? Right, show everybody while I'm talking about them. I might as well.
Sorry, I didn't mean to backseat there. I was trying to help.
No. I just was kind of tired of hearing myself talk.
Yeah, sure, buddy. All right.
All right.
So Malbleet does look like an edge lord. You're right.
Yeah, so these are the three lords, the three goat lords. They're pretty dope. So this is what
you
they
know.
look
I
like.
like Merkin.
Those are their that's their noble heraldry as well. Ramius. Okay, so I don't want to go too much in detail. There's a lot of expo dump. Ramius and Malbleet are related to each other. They're like half brothers. Ramius is like the traditionalist. He's been in power for a long time. He's super canny, knows how to work politics, knows how to who to threaten, who to coddle, to make sure that his seat is secure, right? But Malbleet actually rose kind of out from nowhere and said that he actually had claim to all of Ramius's lands in the High Wold, which was most of them, and he brought forth what apparently was proof of it. It went all the way up to the Duke of Brackenwold, and the Duke, was it the Duke or the Baron? It might have been the Baron. Let's see. Oh, it was the Baron Hogwarsh. Yeah, the Baron Hogwarsh actually ended up having to make a decision about Malbleet's claims, and so he basically did the laziest thing possible, which is he divided the lands in two. He's like, okay, Malbleet, you get the eastern stuff. Ramius, you get to keep the western stuff. Neither of them was super happy about that. Meanwhile, Lord Merkin, who is the half-breggle one, he owns a castle on the very western borders of the High Wold, right on the edge, and he's like super militaristic. Like he's not a very smart man. He's not a politicker like Malbleet and Ramius, but he's very aggressive, and he just wants to take over all. He wants to take over the minor, weak human house underneath Baron Hogwarsh, known as the House Nodlock. And then use that as basically a mustering point to then push forward into the High Wold and take things over militaristically. He's a real jerk. They're all kinds of jerks.
Sorry, go ahead.
Malbleet, though, is the one that sort of has a sorceress, sinister bent to him as well. He's kind of dipping his toes into forbidden areas of knowledge. That's his sort of his jam.
Not to be too much of a Disney adult, but I'm getting Mufasa, Scar vibes here, and then I guess the hyenas for Merkin. But
yeah, maybe so. Yeah.
But John, question. Obviously, not with the interest of being contrarian or edgelord, et cetera, right? Like fully committing to like the concepts at play. Does choosing a house imply that you would prefer us to pursue the objective of the head of that house, or is it possible, for instance, to choose Merkin but not be militaristic, etc.? Right? Like, what is there a range of feeling you have about that?
It's up to you if you want to. If you just you, it doesn't have to be everybody, but if you want to be a servant of the house, it's up to you, depending on what your allegiance is. You know,
gotcha.
If you choose knight, for instance, you have to choose a house. And I would say that if you're a Breggle knight, you must choose one of these three to be your lords.
Yes,
right? Like iconoclastic would be like, I'm a Breggle knight, but I serve House Molbrek. Like,
sure,
you know.
Like, well, I'm obviously going to play a thief, so we won't have to worry about that. But cool.
You could be anyone who's serving a house, but maybe is not happy with your lord's motives. Which I think would be interesting, but it would also be just as interesting to be like true agents of a lord and like really like push to see his agenda made. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
you don't have to decide that right now. Like you don't even have to decide that during this session, right? You could just make your characters, and then we could decide like how they know each other or what their allegiances are later. You know,
That's good.
The only thing I'm driving at is I want to make sure we're not like rejecting the premise, right? Like I play a thief, for instance. If I were to play a thief. Not like a super lawful character. All of these leaders are fairly lawful in their nature. That doesn't mean I'm like a trying to like undermine them, right? But there's some personality there, and I want to make sure it doesn't come.
And you could also you could also not even have allegiance. You could just be living in a land that's controlled by one of these lords. That's what I was thinking. Right? Yeah, like you live in a town that's controlled by Lord Malbly, and you're just a low-level thief that lives on the streets. You know, no big deal, whatever you want.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Cool. So, well, you know what channel you're watching, everybody. It's 3D6 Down the Line. And unlike the first Dolmenwood campaign, where to this day we still receive endless amounts of shit for doing 46 drop lowest. Listen. You can quell your fears, everybody. We're going to do it the right way, which is a 3D6 down the line.
I say this with the utmost love to everyone listening, and I fall into this camp, but we didn't choose a style of game that doesn't involve pedantry, John. It comes with the
yeah, so many messages of like, I saw 3D6 down the line, and within the first 15 minutes, they're rolling 46 drop lows. What the hell? I've been cheated. Whatever. We're doing 3D6 down the line. Okay, so you got your character sheets?
Yep.
All right. I think for Mothership we went Mike and then around. Let's go backwards. Because screw Mike, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe we can.
Maybe we can let Mike roll.
Maybe we can just we'll let him to build up his luck in those dice. And of course, we know that we're all very much looking forward to Ted rolling that one very specific ability score.
Oh yes.
We'll see how that turns out. So let's start with Matt.
Okay.
Why don't you roll us 3d6 down the line? Tell us what you get.
Okay, this is for my strength score. Okay, not bad. That is a 13.
13, okay.
I'll take it.
There, it's Elvis.
It's Elvis. Sorry,
I heard him.
He's sleeping.
Am I rolling everything, John? Or are we just doing one at a time?
Yeah, go right down the line. Yep.
Oh, okay. Intelligence is next. That is 8. 7, 8, 9. Not the smartest. That's okay. Wisdom. That's a 12. That's a 14. That's not bad.
Okay.
Dex. Oh, lost one. Oh, yeah. That's a 10. That's an 11. Con. Here we go, Ted. This is for you, baby. That is 8. 10. That's 12. I'll take a 12, Con.
Yeah, man.
And lastly, charisma. The glass is helping. That's a 10.
Not bad.
Not bad at all.
That was a great stat block. Yeah.
Right? Solid. Very solid.
Cool. So highest is wisdom. Is that right? 14?
Highest is wisdom with a 14.
Cool. All right. Ted, go for it.
Okay. First one, strength. I rolled an 8. Okay, so knight for sure. Intelligence is a 12. Wisdom, dropped a die, is a 16. Ooh. And dexterity is a 12. And okay. The big one.
Here we go.
Constitution. What's going to happen? Who knows? Only the dice will say. And the dice say 10.
Oh,
no,
pleasantly average.
You know, Ted, if there was one time that you could fudge a dice roll, that would have been the time.
Should have lowered it.
Keep the spirit alive.
I could still be a really unpleasant, ugly person. Let's roll charisma. And wow, I got a 14.
Oh, hello. Hey, baby.
Yeah, man. All right.
Very nice.
All
so
right.
You're a very wise guy. Cool.
Not going to be the fighter knight type, I think, probably, but we'll see. Okay.
David.
Well, now that they've absorbed all the good rolls, I'm
true.
here to make the game legitimate, all right. So I'm rolling 46, right, John?
Drop one.
2d strength plus 25.
Strength roll. Starting out the gate, we got 5 strength.
Oh my God.
All right.
Weakling in this party.
Intelligence next. Intelligence next. What do we have? We have a 5, a 3, and a 3. So that's 11. Intelligence.
Mediocre.
Not bad. Wisdom. What will I get with wisdom? That is a 5 and 2 2s. That's a 9 wisdom. Dexterity. That is a 5, a 4, and a 2. So 11. All right. Constitution. Let me get that 4. Oh, actually, 6, a 4, and a 3. So
13.
6, 13. Thank you for being smarter than me.
Hail and hearty.
And charisma last. That is 2 6s and a 2. So 12, 14, 15. Wait, what?
14.
14, yes.
Okay.
All right.
And lastly, Mike.
Yeah, I'm going to just do point buy, if that's okay.
We reject
I
all
don't
notions
have
of
very
point
good
buy.
luck with these types of things. Please, Odin, hear my prayer. That's, oh, yes, 13 strength.
All right.
Yeah. 6 intelligence.
Hey, fiction mirrors life. What am I trying to say? Who knows?
Holy shit, I got a 14 wisdom.
Wow, got a bunch of wise people in this party. All right.
It's not going to last long.
Yeah, not me. I rolled a 9.
9 dexterity.
Okay.
Oh, hell yes, dude. I got a 15 con.
Ooh, nice.
One more big whammy. No whammies.
3.
I got a 10 charisma.
Oh.
Okay, great. What did you get for con? Sorry, I missed it.
15, man.
Oh wow! All right, great. Okay, so that's great. But typical 3d6 span there for everybody. No one qualifies for subpar characters according to the optional rule. So
Nope.
you got to keep them. All
Come
right.
on, a 5 strength doesn't qualify, John? Oh.
6 intelligence? Come on.
So we're going to take our first break here after rolling our ability scores. We can skip step 2, which is choosing a kindred. That's going to be Briggle automatically. You can fill that right in, and we'll go right to class selection. So when we take our break, you can think about that a little bit, and then we'll come back and discuss. We will be right back. All right, we are back. Bladders empty, beers full. So just want to point out to everyone out there and to you guys as well that the ability score bonuses, or I should say the ability modifiers are on page 22 of the DPB, so you're going to want to fill those in. They range from -3 to +3. 9 to 12, there is nothing. We will be using the prime abilities, which is I think they called them prime requisites back in the old days. So you will get a bonus or penalty to your XP based upon your score in your prime abilities, which is tied to your class. Don't forget that if you your class has multiple prime abilities, the lowest score determines your XP modifier. Okay, between those. All right. The ability scores themselves, so they each kind of modify different things. So strength was going to modify attack and damage rolls with melee weapons specifically, not ranged weapons. You can do break down doors, force jumping, swimming, all that sort of stuff. Intelligence is going to modify your number of languages spoken and whether or not you're literate. Wisdom affects your what Gavin is calling magic resistances, which is it's basically the same thing that it was in BXD&D, which is modifies any saving throw that is made with from effects that have magical origin. It has no effect on divine spell casting like modern D&D, just so you're aware. 0 effect. Dexterity is going to modify your armor class and your missile attacks, but not your damage with missile weapons, but it does modify your attacks. Con modifies your hit points, as we know. It's also really, really good, as Ted is well aware, to have a good high con when you're resting out in the wild. And charisma gives you all that sweet, sweet retainer love. So that's what you're looking at for your ability scores. All right. So, so now you're going to choose a class. Let's do it. So the classes that are available, there are, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 total classes in Dolmenwood. However, we are only going to be choosing from 8 of them. One that is off limits is the enchanter. That is one that is basically associated with the elves of fairy. And I feel just does not mesh well with any other kindred. Other than Grimalkin, which are the other fairy kindred, I should say. So it's going to be off limits for now, as far as I could tell, for the foreseeable future. The classes that have modern D&D equivalents don't assume that they have the same sort of archetype as those modern day equivalents. So the Bard, for instance, is, in my opinion, way cooler than any modern iteration of the Bard in 5th edition D&D or Pathfinder 2e or anything like that.
Tell me more.
It's very, very much like a Pied Piper is the obvious folkloric figure that this is based upon. Much less so a jack of all trades, which I just find intensely boring in modern day games. It's much more niche. So they're pretty cool. If any of you watched our Red Cap's Cauldron 3-shot, Matt was playing a Mossling Bard to great effect.
He was fun.
Yeah, it was very fun. The cleric has actually made some changes from the first time that we played Dolmenwood to now. The Dolmenwood version of the cleric is not very different, but just has a very different feel to it than your modern D&D cleric. So he's rolled in a lot of the paladin feel into the cleric. So they're very much zealots, right? They're specifically members of holy warrior orders of the Plurotine Church. Okay, only the Plurotine Church, just to be aware. So you can't be like a cleric of like Old Friendlier, basically, right? If you're going to be cleric, you must serve the Plurotine Church, and you're specifically in one of 3 militaristic orders of the church. Where is it here? The Order of Saint Faxus, which is the ones who root out dark magic users, people who are like demon worshippers, necromancers, things like that. The Order of Saint Sedge, who protect the lands of church from invaders, and the Order of Saint Cygnus, who watch over the dead and hunt the undead. All right. So I like it because there's just like a lot of built-in world flavor, like right in the class description, right? Like it's so much about the world is in that class, you know. So, the rules for turning the undead are actually very different from your classic OSE rules for turning undead as well. So don't dismiss them as your kind of heal bots. They're very, very cool zealots, like very high fervor sort of thing. So Enchanted were not allowed. Fighter is actually pretty cool as well. Has a lot of combat talents that you can choose from. So there's a lot of cool combat things that you can do. Fighter. So the cleric is juxtaposed to the friar, who is sort of your wandering mendicant. So they are given a special writ from the church that they are allowed to proselytize as they see fit. They are not really part of, they are outside the normal church hierarchy. They don't have to answer to like a bishop or anything like that, right? They're great because they can use cooking implements as weapons better than anyone else. They're great at herbalism and foraging. They actually get their faith is so strong, like this sort of natural faith that they have, and that they actually gain armor bonuses, even though they can't wear armor, just from their faith, which is cool. And this is a big difference. Clerics, in true old school fashion, cannot cast any spells at first level. They gain their first spells at second level. Friars, however, do gain a spell at first level. So they gain. So you're basically trading off like combat prowess for spellcasting prowess, if you want to look at it at a strictly mechanical level, which you shouldn't, because that's lame.
I can attest from our first Dolmenwood campaign, which everyone should listen to. My short-lived friar was very fun. They're very, very, very fun magic encounters.
Yeah. The Hunter is Dolmenwood's version of the Ranger, but again, I find to be much cooler because they don't have goddamn spells. Thank God. It does, unfortunately, focus heavily on an animal companion. Anyone who knows me knows that I'm not a fan of the animal.
We should all be hunters. Let's all be Bringle hunters.
Don't you have one in your lap as we speak, John?
I do, actually. That's all I need. But as far as an implementation of the animal companion, I can't have too many complaints about this. One's pretty cool. But they have a lot of really cool skills and stuff. They got the tracking and stuff, but they have this cool thing called trophies, where if they take actual pieces, something from a monster that they kill, they actually get bonuses against that monster in the future. It's also really great in the Dolmenwood game itself as a hexcrawl, because a lot of it is finding your way through the wilderness. Right. And if you have a hunter with you, your time will be a lot easier. The knight is you're basically going to be serving one of the noble houses of the duchy. Either in our case, it will definitely be a Bregel lord. In wider Dolmenwood, it would you could serve any one of the human houses as well. In our original campaign, Matt played Halifax Swinney, the knight who served House Harrimore. He did a great job doing that. They're really fun. They've really gone on horses. They have to follow a code. They can expect hospitality. They gain at higher levels. They gain bonuses to attack and damage against larger creatures, and they're really good about resisting fairy influence. Basically, you start as a squire if you're going to choose a knight until you're level 3, at which point you qualify to actually be knighted. The magician is Dolmenwood's version of the magic user. This is also been changed to be very, very niche and specific. It's really cool. Instead of like rolling randomly for your starting spells like we would do in OSE, you actually start with an actual specific spell book. So if you look on page 72, cool. They have these, like, there's the book, The Charms of the Fey Court, and it comes with the actual spells, Fairy Servant, Ingratiate, Ventriloquism, right? And it just, those are the spells that you start with. It's pretty cool. We will, if you choose a magician, we will roll a d6 and you will randomly get one of those books. They also have the ability to detect magic pretty much at will, which is pretty cool. And a lot of my house rules that I am instituting, I am carrying over from Ardenvool into Dolmenwood with regard to spell research, magic item creation, that kind of stuff. I thought that stuff was pretty useful and made you want to do it more than the actual default rules. So that's where most of my house rules are going to be associated with arcane magic.
Yeah, that was loads of fun. I love doing that.
Yep. And the thief, which is very similar to your classic D&D thief. I will be modifying backstabbed a little bit, but other than that, it's pretty much what's on the page there. Yeah, so that's the deal. If as far as any of the classes that have skills built in, thief is a perfect example, right? Has all of these climb walls, decipher documents, disarm, all that kind of stuff. There, by default, there is a set progression of how those go up. We will be using the customizing skills optional rule, which is in each one of those things, so you can actually tailor make your thing. We did this in Ardenvool. We all think it's probably the best way, I assume, right? And we like this. So this actually brings me into before you choose, so you understand this is a big difference. It's actually not in OSE. There are 3 main kind of dice rolls that you're going to be making as far as your stats and skills and stuff like that. So there's ability checks. Okay, so you're going to be rolling. You're going to be looking at your ability score specifically, and you're going to be adding or subtracting that modifier from your die roll. And the die roll is a D6, not a D20. Okay, very, very important. You're rolling a D6, and the target number for an ability check is now I can't remember. Is it 6 or 4? I know it's one or the other.
I thought it was 4. Like a standard check, isn't it?
No, it's a 6 is where you start, I think. Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah, stand for 6 is what I remember.
Target number is 4 for ability checks. Okay, and I'll explain in a second. Yeah, I'm looking at page 144 here if you want to check it out. So you roll a d6, you're going to add your ability score modifier, and you're always shooting for a 6. Okay, that is a success on an ability check. So if I tell you to roll a strength check, you're not rolling a d20 and trying to get under your strength score. You're rolling a d6, adding your modifier, and trying to get 6. Understand? As opposed to a skill check. So if you're a thief and I tell you to roll your leisure domain, then you're going to be rolling a d6 as well, but the target number for that is 4.
Okay.
All right.
I will have to ask that again, I'm sure, but
yeah, it'll take us a little bit while. We actually did this in Redcap's Cauldron. It's just been so long that we kind of forgot. And you're gonna for skill checks, you're gonna add any situational modifiers. So you're looking to equal or exceed the skill target, which is almost always 4. Oh wait, I'm wrong.
I think we got them backwards here. The skill check target is 6. The ability check target is 4.
I'm sorry. You're absolutely right. Yes. Thank you, Ted. So yeah. My bad. So it's 6 for skill checks, 4 for ability checks. I'm sorry. Yeah. I just made everyone super confused. Sorry about that. And then roll of 1 is always a natural 1 is always a fail, and a roll of 6 always succeeds, regardless of your modifier. Okay. And then the third roll is a saving throw, which we already know how to do. Those are the same as before.
Saving target. Do we call it saving throws in this version? Did he change that?
No, it's still saving throws.
Oh, okay.
So you're going to roll a d20 and you're going to try to hit that number or higher on the saving throw. Now, the save categories are different, although you're probably going to recognize like what realms they encompass because they're sort of based on the old, what do you call it? Not what's the
Categories?
Word? Yeah, the old categories of old D&D. So now they are Doom, Ray, Hold, Blast, and Spell. So
Fasolatito.
Yeah, so that's basically it. And then there's attack rolls and all that sort of jazz. But just kind of keep that in mind, especially when you're looking at the in-class skills for some of these, like the hunter and the thief and the bard, I believe. So let's discuss classes. What do you guys think? What's piquing your interest?
Thief.
I'm glad you
There
gave it a
can
lot
be
of
two
thought,
thieves,
David.
Mike. There can be two thieves.
Oh, I don't want to be a thief. I'm okay with that. I was initially thinking fighter because I'm kind of built that way. But then I was also going, well, you know what? I have pretty high wisdom, and I like John's description of all the clerics being in like martial orders. Like, so I would do either of those. So let me throw those two out there. But if somebody else has a burning desire to do one of those, just let me know. That makes sense.
Shocker that Mike wants to play the Marine of Dolmenwood.
you said cleric or what else? What else, Mike was?
Fighter.
Fighter. Okay.
Fighter, cleric. Yeah, see, I was torn because I was really, what really sounds like fun to me is trying magician here. I think it would be a tough row to hoe because I'm not that smart. I wouldn't get any kind of bonus, but
do it.
The skills kind of point towards like, friar or cleric, but having a friar and a cleric at the same time, I don't know.
I don't have to do a cleric though. If you do like someone that can, heal or turn. Or like,
you see that's the other thing. Like I always like to play something different that I haven't done before.
Right.
And to be the annoying chaos agent, as people like to call me, playing a terribly statted out version of a class is a joy. So follow what's exciting to you. We don't have to create the perfect party is all I'm saying, right?
Yeah, I could also do hunter. Like I thought that one was cool too.
Well, I'm flexible. Ted, what are you thinking? Because I think you were also rather wisdomous.
Yeah, when we first brought up off camera the idea of being an all Briggle party, I wanted to be a knight. I thought being a Briggle knight sounded really fun. Just because you've got a big old fuzzy goat head doesn't mean you're not, the spirit of nobility and plate mail and riding on a horse and all this stuff and the weird pupils don't matter.
Yeah,
I did not roll a knight at all. I am still debating it, but like the thing is I rolled a perfect friar, like the perfect friar, which I don't normally want to play something like that. Although I like the idea of God be praised every time one of you does something well or something like that. And cooking and that sounds like a lot of fun, and it's not something I normally would play. And so there's a certain appeal in stretching my wings in that respect.
You get to whap people with big sausages.
Ted, I think you'd be a great camp counselor at a Unitarian church camp,
Can I just point out, guys, that the way the chips are falling, we kind of have the classic four going here. If Matt plays the magician, David plays the thief, Ted plays the friar, and I play the fighter, we're like literally like a walking cliche.
As far as the knight goes, you should be aware that that's actually sort of it's not like the favored class, but it's very much in line with surprisingly with Breggles as a kindred, because, and this is derived from their long ancestry from way back when they originally served the fairy lords. They were enamored with the fairy where they learned aristocracy, where they learned the greedy drive for power, right? Came from fairies. Right, that kind of
John,
capriciousness.
they're a herd species. right?
Yeah, so they so that a lot of there's like that fable basically or not a fable but a tall tale that the reason that they naturally grow their horns longer as they become more wealthy and powerful derives from their association with their servitude to fairy back in the day. Like their will to become more powerful has manifested physically in their ability to grow horns, and so that's that's why knights are like knighthood is a big deal for Bregel, almost more so than humans.
So do you want to play a capo, Ted, or what are you thinking? That is really rad. John, I did not know that the Fae were like an aristocratic group. And
Because they're all fairy lords and white super
courts, man.
They don't. They all have the fairy courts. Yeah, I mean they all do their own thing.
That's true. That's true. What am I thinking? Yeah. Duh.
But you should know too. Cool. Just as talking about this whole cleric and fire thing, we kind of had this issue where I had to keep pounding this into you in AV as well. High wisdom does absolutely nothing for you. You are just as good of a cleric with a 3 wisdom as you are with an 18. It means no difference. You get nothing for it, right?
You don't get the XP bonus.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Yes. Yeah.
But we've had at least 37 detoxes discussing how leveling up is a scam, right?
If it makes it easier, I'm willing to make a house rule right now. If the XP penalties and bonuses are giving you agita and forcing you towards one class or another, we can just ditch that. I ditched it in AV, and I felt good about it. I was going to just keep to the book here in Dolmenwood, but if you want to ditch
Mike's sweat. Mike's starting to sweat. You can see the sweat pouring out of his face.
I want everyone to note how good a GM John is. But anyway, moving on. Yeah.
Well, thank you, John. That's a very kind offer. I think I've kind of like, even though I wanted to play a knight, I'm kind of sitting here thinking about it. I'm kind of getting into the idea of this sort of not the arrogant headbutting goat, but the friendly, playful goat, who wants to cook a pot of soup for the poor. And
I've never met that goat.
Hey,
I've never met that goat, but I could be that goat.
Ted, I would never deign to write a backstory because nothing could be more disgusting to me. But I do like the idea of my urchin thief, Shorthorn, right? Having a nice father figure, so to speak, guiding him towards the light. That's a cute small little character.
I thought of that. Like every time you steal something, like I whack you with a stick. What did I tell you?
Oh, maybe you're the only person that I'm actually kind of afraid of, and I don't really know how to articulate it, but it's very Catholic school, I love it.
Okay, so I'm hearing Ted is pretty much settled on Friar. David's on Thief.
Yep.
Mike and Matt, what do you guys think?
I think I'm going to do magician. I think
Magician?
it'll be fun.
I was dying for Matt to play a wizard, so this is going to be exciting to me. Yeah,
I'm going to do fighter. I'm going to be like the kind of goat that they break the glass in case of emergency and just push me out in front of the enemy troops.
Okay, cool. All right, so let's pick up the pace to try a little bit here. Okay, so let's go back first. Bregel. Everyone's a Bregel, and we're using the kindred, not the kindred as class. So as far as mechanical things here, your fur. This is on page. I'm looking at page 33 here. A Bregel's character has thick, woolly fur that grants them a +1 AC when unarmored or wearing light armor. So maybe just write it light in pencil before we determine what your actual armor ends up being. But you will get a +1 if you're unarmored or wearing light. And then they had this really cool thing, a gaze. This is also something that the tales tell that they learned from the fairy lords. So they can use their gaze to charm humans and shorthorns, specifically not longhorns, into obeisance. Remember, only those two kinds of people. So you can gaze intently at them, and then the target has to make a save versus spell, and they are charmed to view you with awe and respect. And they are unable to harm the longhorn either directly or indirectly. Now, you only get this when you are level 4, and level 4 is the marker for whenever you're actually called a longhorn. So it's not like your horns are short, and then when you hit level 4, they suddenly grow long. It's like a continuous process, but you would only be assumed socially to be a longhorn after level 4. So just to keep that in mind, you'll get that. It's pretty cool. And your horns themselves, even as a short horn, You can use them as a weapon. You can make a melee attack with them. It increases with level, and that table is on page 33 there. So at level 1, your horns are only 1-inch little nubs. But they do 1d4 damage if you run into somebody with them. Okay?
Sweet.
Gotcha.
All right, cool. So that's it for Bregel. Now let's see, Mike, you are a fighter. So you're going to roll a d8 for hit points. We're going to use my AV house rule for starting hit points. So you're going to roll. If you get less than the average, you're going to take the average, and the average is going to be rounded up. So for a d8, that means that the minimum you're going to start with is 5. Okay? Roll them.
Oh, I think I'll take the average since I rolled a 1.
Okay. All right. So it's going to be 5 plus your con. Do you have a con bonus?
I do. I have a +1 in my con.
Okay, cool. And you're automatically going to start with so you're going to have 6 hit points, and you're going to have an attack bonus of +1 just from your class, and then you would add any bonuses that you have from strength for attack.
Again, a +1.
So you have +2 total then for starting attack. You don't get any combat talents at first level. Your first one comes at second level. And then your save targets across straight down the line for Doom, Ray, Hold, Blast, Spell are 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 straight up the line.
Got it.
Okay. That's it for you. Then, David, you are a thief. So you're going to start with a D4 for hit points. So the minimum that you will start with is 3, actually. So roll them.
That is a 2.
2. So you're going to start with 3 plus your con. Do you have a con bonus?
I do. I have 1, so it's a 4 total.
Sweet. No attack bonus to start, but you do get to add your strength and or dexterity to melee and missiles, respectively.
So -2 on strength and no modifier in dex.
Okay. And your save targets going down the line are 13, 14, 13, 15, and 15.
Perfect.
So we're going to use the customizing skills optional rule. So you're going to all skills begin a table list of standard skill progression. Okay, so your base skill target starts at 6, which means it's difficult to succeed, right? Because you need to hit a 6. So everything across the board starts at a 6, and you're going to gain expertise points to improve them. Each point lowers the skill target by 1. So if you assign a point to like climb wall, which starts at 6, it would then go down to a 5, which makes it easier to succeed. Got it?
Gotcha.
You start at level 1 with 4 expertise points to spread around. So remember, for each one of those points, you're lowering it by 1. Now you can apply that to the same skill if you like want to load up, that sort of thing. But the minimum skill target you can ever have, no matter how powerful you are, is 2. You can never have a 1.
Does anyone want to take a guess where I'm going to put my abilities?
Rope.
You're going to do it all in read scroll.
I actually was tempted to split it between climb and I really like decipher document, but I'm going to start with all in climb, I think. So I have a target of 2 in climb and 6 in all the rest, John.
Okay, so you're just loading all the way up with climb. Okay.
Yep.
Great. And every level afterwards, you're going to gain 2 more expertise points to a lot. All right.
Perfect.
So
No.
basically, David is a mountain goat.
Yes.
Yeah.
There you go. It works.
I was going to make the joke, but you beat me to it. Yes.
So here's one of my house rules that so the backstab rule is going to be as typed except for the damage itself. We didn't really see that much in AV, but I still think it's a good solid mechanic. Instead of rolling 3d4 damage modified by strength on a successful backstab, you're going to just basically max that out. You're going to do 12 flat damage modified by strength and any magic from your weapon, flat damage every time you do a successful backstab. They're difficult enough to set up that I think the payoff needs to be big. A big wallop every single time. All right.
At -2 strength, that'll always be a 10.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. No, that's perfect. I love that, John.
Okay.
Listen, did we cover listens on Mike?
We'll get to that in just a second. I'm just going through the
Okay,
list.
yeah,
So,
sorry.
Matt, you are a magician.
I am a magician.
Okay, so you're also going to roll a d4 for hit points, minimum 3, modified by con.
Okay, I have a 0 to my con, so I'll take the 3 because I rolled a 2.
Okay, great, 3. And then your saving throw targets down the line are 14, 14, 13, 16, and 14.
Okay, I shall roll high. Okay.
Sorry, and then your starting spell book. So this is going to be fun. So let's just roll it first. Roll a d6.
Okay. That's a 6.
A 6. The Treatise on Force and Dissolution.
Ooh.
So it contains the following rank 1 spells: Crystal Resonance,
That's a cool one.
Floating Disc, and Vapors of Dream.
I love it. I love it.
Which is the sleep of this version. So this gives me a
best
chance
one.
to just really briefly talk about the differences in spells and stuff like that. So there are arcane spells and there are holy spells. And they have been not only, some of them are just like the name change in order to ditch the OGL sort of thing, but a lot of them, he took the opportunity to actually change the mechanics and flavor of them entirely to be much more Dolmenwood specific, which I really like. Vapors of Dream is a great example. It's the Dolmenwood equivalent of sleep, but the mechanics of it are completely different than the normal sleep spell. I think Floating Disc is fairly similar to like Tensor's Floating Disc from the original one, but regardless, you should never assume. You should always look up in the Dolmenwood book what the spell descriptions are, and
Sure.
spells go from rank 1 to 6 or 5. Can't remember. You're just going to write those are specifically the spells that you start with. In addition, you can memorize one spell at first level,
Okay.
just like your typical magic user. You also gain Detect Magic. This is the actual rule in Dolmenwood, and I actually just lifted this and put it into Ardenvool. So it was a house rule in Ardenvool, but it's actually like a normal rule in Dolmenwood. So you can determine that an item is enchanted, but not the kind of enchantment. You must touch it. That's the key thing, is you must actually place your hand on it. You can't do it from a distance. Takes one turn to do it, so you can't do it during combat. And you can attempt to do it as many times as you want, but each time takes up a turn, so it's just basically like the resource that you're burning is time. And it says that the referee is going to roll them, but I don't do secret referee rolls, so screw that. You can just roll yourself. And then this is kind of cool. If you're doing it during downtime, if you have an hour of solitude in a safe location, it just automatically works.
Cool.
Okay. Yeah. So right now your skill target for Detect Magic is 6, and you can see there's a chart there that goes down as your level goes up. Okay.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm excited.
Lastly, Ted Fryer.
You bet.
Ted. Oh wow, we've got a real meaty party here. We got 3 party members, all who have D4 for hit dice. That's also you, Ted. Minimum 3.
Yes. I will take that 3 that you mentioned.
Okay. You have
I
a
have
con
no
bonus.
con modifier.
All right. Looking forward to rolling up some new characters fairly soon.
Oh
That
yeah.
actually is a good question, John. If our initial characters die, do our next characters Breggles as well?
That will be determined. I have thoughts on it, but I haven't figured it out yet. One character set at a time. Do you have any strength bonus? Dex bonus?
I have a modifier of -1 to strength.
Okay, so you're -1 for your attack bonus. You do have the Armor of Faith, though. So
I know it.
You're not allowed to wear armor, but you do get a +2 to your AC.
Plus
and
my
then-
fur, that puts me at a 13 AC whilst naked.
Nice.
But naked and pious. That's
Indeed. That's all you need.
the key bit.
And your save targets down the line are 11, 12, 13, 16, and 14.
And I have a +2 to magic resistance because of my wisdom.
Sweet. So you have the Armor of Faith, coordinate your implements, so you can use basically anything, even a cured sausage that's right here in the book, as a melee weapon doing 1d4 damage. It's pretty cool. You have a target of 5 for survival. When everyone has a certain, I think it's like listen, search, and survival are like the universal skills that everyone has. Everyone has a target 6 for that, unless the class says otherwise. And your class does say otherwise, Ted. When you're foraging, your survival roll for foraging is a target of 5, which is nice. And herbalism, when you apply a single dose of a medicinal herb to you or your your friends. It's sufficient for 2 subjects rather than 1. And then you have
Cool.
access to holy magic. So you can pray for 1 spell of your choice from the rank 1 spells, and the whole breadth of rank 1 spells are open to you.
God be praised.
You must carry a holy symbol. And let's go over to Miro real quick. If we scroll down all the way down past the goat lords there, this is the holy symbol of the Plurtine Church. It's called the Chapes. Okay, it's a sun with 5 rays pointing down from it. The 5 rays signify the 5 prophets of God. Okay, so you have a holy symbol that looks like that. And you're basically praying to saints. Let's see.
Yeah.
And you have a monastic vow of poverty, and you can turn the undead, which has different mechanics than OSC. So we have to look at that. All right. What's next?
Regal traits and stuff. Do you want trinkets, that sort of thing?
We're getting there. So we're just hold on.
Starting equipment.
Okay, so we got your save targets, your skill targets. Let's see. Where's the character sheet here? All right, yeah. So listen, search, and survival, unless the class said otherwise, and I think that's only Ted's Friar. That's going to be the discard targets are going to be 6 for all of those. Those are your everyone has those as universal skills. Okay.
Okay.
Your languages. Let's see. That's going to be Bregel. So everyone knows Woldish. That is the common of the land. Okay.
Yep.
Woldish is the common tongue, and then you're also going to know your native languages, which are Gaff, Gaffe, and Caprice, Caprice. Gaff is low Goatish, and Caprice is like highborn as well. Does anyone have a positive modifier for intelligence?
Well, I mean, it depends on how you look at it.
Yeah. Is Woldish with an O or a U? Sorry.
An O.
Oh.
The Wold.
I have a positive attitude about intelligence, John. Does that?
That's good.
Yeah.
That'll get you real far.
God be praised.
I'm going to step out for just 1 second and tuck in that kid. I'll be back in just a minute.
This is actually exactly the time for our second break. So why don't we just all take a break, and we'll be right back.
Groovy.
All right, we are back. Bladders empty, beers full. All right, so next step in character generation is we're going to be doing equipment. So that leads me into talking about encumbrance real quick. So we are going to be, so in the Dolmenwood game, he has 2 different versions, weight encumbrance, which is very old school, and then slot encumbrance, which is much more modern. We are going to be using slot encumbrance. It's no longer like an optional one. It's just like one of the 2 things that you can choose to do. It is, you'll recognize it, but it is actually different than what we used in Ardenvool. And I think it's actually pretty nice and elegant. So I don't think it's going to cause as much hopefully not as much like, can I fit it, can I not sort of thing as we were dealing with in Ardenvool. So this is all on page 149, just so you're aware. The back of your character sheet should look very similar to the character sheets you were using at Ardenvool, as far as like the more you put in, the lower your speed gets. Almost all like general items are going to be 1 slot, and 2-handed items are generally going to be 2 slots, and then really big things are going to be 3. That includes heavy armor would also be 3 slots. So what's cool though is that the numbers are like your capacity is pretty well thought out. So there are equipped items and there are stowed items. So equipped items you can get to quickly, obviously, and you have 10 slots for those, period. Stowed items, you have 10 slots per container, okay, but you can only carry a maximum of 16 slots total. Cool. Got it? So there's no possible way to actually fill up 2 containers worth of
Gotcha.
Stuff, right? And then between your equipped and your stowed items, whatever you have, whatever on the chart gets you to the lowest speed is the speed that you're at. Okay,
cool.
So I say that as we generate your gear. So we're going to do a quick generation just to make things faster. As I say that, as I slow everything down by looking things up. All right. So General items that everyone has. Get ready to flip over your character sheets and write this shit down. You have a common clothes, which don't take up anything. A backpack containing 2 preserved rations. So there's that's like iron rations, but 2 preserved rations. Those can be bundled, I believe. A water skin and a tinderbox. And you have a belt pouch that contains 3d6 gold pieces. So you can roll that on your own whenever you want. I don't really need to know. And you're going to roll 4 times from the adventuring items table on page 19. Everyone can do this simultaneously. So just roll 4d20, and you're going to look up what your result is on the chart on page 19. And if you do get the same thing, you do actually have double the amount, double that thing. Okay, so you can get double. All right, so roll 4d20 and tell us what you get.
4d20, huh?
Mm-hmm. Don't add them up. Each one is a separate reference. Yeah.
All right. Twine.
14.
Iron spikes.
A sack. Iron spikes.
Marbles. Ooh, I'm getting all the good shit.
I got rope.
We got rope. We have rope.
I have rope, along with my twine.
Oh, I got
well equipped for a friar. Jeez.
I got
Cooking pots.
I'm swimming in torches over here. I got 3 torches twice.
Twine. Sorry,
I'll
how many
trade you
d20?
iron spikes for cooking pots?
Oh, and a lantern. Look at that. I'm Mr. Light over here.
Okay.
John, how many d20 are we rolling again? Sorry.
4.
4. Okay, so I'm good. Yeah, I have twine, cooking pots, marbles, and iron spikes.
Oh, you got iron
I got
spikes.
a tent, chisel, a sack, and a shovel.
And I have 15 gold.
I rolled 10 gold.
If you rolled something that is a container, like a sack, and the backpack that you already have, it counts as 0 slots if there is something in it, like when there is something in use. If you're just carrying it loose, then it takes up a slot, like 1 slot. Okay.
Cool.
Coins and gems, just so you're aware, are the same as we did in AV. So up to 100 is 1. Every 100 is 1.
So would the belt pouch with a few coins in it just be a slot?
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you actually get some more stuff based upon your class. So let's go back around the other way. Magician, you're going to have no armor, but you get this stuff in addition. Ready, Matt?
Yeah.
You get a dagger, holy water. Interesting, actually, that you get holy water as a magician. That says a lot, actually. Oil, a staff, and a torch. Okay.
Cool. I've got 7 torches.
Sweet. By the way, I think let's see. Hold on. Torches can be bundled up to 3 per bundle, so it's 1 slot per bundle of 3. Okay. Ted is a friar. You're gonna have a club, a dagger,
A club. Oh, and a dagger.
you get even more. Holy water, oil, a sling. Wait, are these things all things that you get? Oh wait. I made a mistake.
I don't think we get all those.
These are things that you can use. I'm sorry. My bad. Going back to magician. Sorry.
I see where you're looking now.
Never mind.
You're so generous.
Yep.
I got to roll, don't I?
I am just a super dungeon master. Okay, Matt, roll a d6, please.
Okay. I got a 4, so I get a staff.
You get a staff, yeah. You also have ritual robes.
Nice.
Okay, and you start with a single spell book, and we did that. Okay. All right, now we're on track. Okay, friar, you're going to roll a d6 for me for a weapon.
I rolled a 6, so I get a staff.
Staff, and then you automatically get a friar's habit, and you have a wooden chapes, right? And it goes without. Oh, you're a Breggle, though. That's the question. Do Breggles have tonsors?
I have a feeling that a sufficiently hairy Breggle could in fact tonsure
Yeah,
themselves.
Actually,
and
we
would
should
look
probably
really ridiculous.
might have to see when we roll in the random charts what your appearance is like.
I think he should be shorn.
Totally. David,
They call him the pink.
David, roll roll d6 for armor.
That's a 2.
No armor.
Hey, fuck me. All right.
roll d6 twice.
God damn. All right. D6 twice. That's a 1 and a 4.
Club and a short bow and 20 arrows. Cool.
Short blow.
And you get thieves tools automatically. Huzzah.
Oh, David, thieves' tools. Come now, my lad.
All right.
This is no way to behave.
Mike, fighter, roll d6 for armor.
I got a 4.
Chainmail plus shield. Hell yeah.
Nice.
Fuck you.
And roll a d6 twice for weapons.
You go first.
Okay. Oh, I rolled a plasma rifle. What is that, John? No, I got a 5.
5. Okay. Short sword. And one more.
Okay. And a 2.
A dagger. Short sword and
Nice.
dagger. Cool. All right. Let's see. Where are we next? Equipment. Trinkets.
Do we have feet, John? Or do we have feet or hooves?
Hooves.
You have hooves.
So we don't need boots.
Ridiculous question.
No, you don't need boots.
Yep.
Yeah, you have like this,
Savings
like
and
backwards feet
sandals.
sort of thing. Yeah.
You just wear like cool funky boots.
Okay. The trinket. We love, but we go like a good trinket. All right. Everyone's going to roll a D100 on the Breggle trinket table on page 34.
Trinket. D100, huh?
Yeah. Mike, why don't you go first? Roll us D100.
Okay. 50 even.
50.
Ugh.
Ugh.
That's gross.
What is it? Say it.
It's a pig heart that oozes ichor when squeezed.
That's awesome.
Hey, infinite ichor.
That's amazing. All right, David, roll us a D100.
All right. I'm so every time I look at a fucking percentile dice, 2 zeros is
100.
100.
Yeah, it depends.
Well,
It's 0.
It depends on what the tens
digit.
die is. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna roll the 10s, and that's a 7.
So you got a 7.
I got a 7, and that is
Oh, geez.
blue,
Perfect.
blue velvet jacket with a hidden pocket. Whoa! It moves when you're not looking. Okay, cool.
Read it out loud.
Love it.
Let the people know.
A blue velvet jacket with a hidden pocket, which moves when you're not looking. Every time you want to retrieve something from the pocket, it takes a minute to search. And find. Very cool.
It's just annoying.
Yeah, it
You
is
got an
annoying.
annoying coat.
David will
I
find
didn't
a
know
use
I didn't know there were sentient coats. I will 100% find a use for this, by the way. Oh no, yes, I have my idea. One moment. Oh, geez, where is it?
Yeah, exactly. Matt, D100.
Okay, here we go. I got a 57.
Okay.
That is a scale said to be from a Breggle with a fishtail instead of legs.
Jeez.
Oh,
It's very magician.
these are great. Great writing. Yeah.
Sounds like a spell component. All right, Ted.
Can I re-roll? It's the same thing as Matt.
Yeah.
That's just boring if we both got a fishtail scale. 12. A bottle of noxious perfume. When sprayed, it can be smelt up to half a mile away.
That's very awesome.
It's just your
Great
bottle.
for
my
you're
days
scaring off bears on the travels.
It's your
you know.
bottled body odor. Yeah.
It's from my days of my misspent youth before I found the path of God.
That's right.
Oh, is that why you're trying to correct mine?
I have lived it, my son, and you should not tread down this road.
Okay, so
Haven't the hooves for it.
that's your equipment. Your armor class you can now determine. So It's going to be just like OSC. So the base is 10, and you're going to add your Dex modifier, and then any modifier that like. If you qualify for the Bregel one, you'll get that +1, but you have to be unarmored or wearing light armor, and then the Friar gets a +2, and then your other armor, right? So that would just be Mike, I believe. So, Mike, did you already figure that out, or do we need to look it up?
I did. I have a 15 armor class.
That includes the shield, right?
Yep.
Okay, very cool. And then your speed, that should be determined by your gear, right? So let's see. Your speed.
Do we start from the very top, John, and work our way down, or does
yeah,
it
just like the other game, yeah.
Okay. Strength doesn't have any modifier on how much you can carry?
I don't think so. That was actually an optional rule in OSC too.
Okay.
Yeah.
And let me just make sure I got this right. Chainmail being medium armor takes up 2 equipped slots, correct?
I believe so, yeah.
And then shield, short sword, and dagger would be a total of 5 of my equipped slots, putting me right at the border of 30.
That sounds right. Yep.
Okay. Does my pig heart that squeezes out Icar, is that a tiny item?
Sure.
I'm sorry to be so dense too with the container rules. So I have gold pieces, therefore I have my coin pouch. My coin pouch takes a stowed item slot. I have a backpack which came with 2 rations and a water skin. Am I listing the backpack and those 2 other items, or
the
just
pouch
those 2
and
items?
the backpack do not count as long as there's something in them, but the things in them do count.
Gotcha.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
If
Perfect.
you put a backpack in your backpack, the second backpack takes a slot.
That's correct. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Gotcha.
So
Okay, cool.
next is your alignment. This is the basic BX alignment. So you just pick one: lawful, neutral, chaotic. Friars and clerics cannot be chaotic. You may not choose chaotic.
Neutral.
I'll take lawful.
You're not chaotic?
Me? Well, okay, here's the thing. I read the you know how I feel about alignment in general. I read the alignment rules, and chaotic is pretty explicitly a bad guy.
Yeah, it's evil. Basically.
It's evil.
Yeah,
it's not
basically
like unlawful. It's explicitly evil. So I'm not going to do that now.
Yeah, it does have some mechanical effects, but not many. Usually based around like spell usage, right? Like being able to detect alignment and protect yourself from alignment from certain alignments, that kind of thing. All right, so that's that. You're going to note your level, which is 1, and whatever you need for next level. That brings me into advancement. So a couple things that are going to be. Yep.
Backgrounds.
Yep, we're going to do it. Yep.
Oh, sorry. Okay, sorry.
Don't worry, I'm on it, man.
I believe you.
You're going to note the XP that you need for next level based upon your class charts. Should be pretty familiar too. The numbers should be pretty familiar too. They basically line up with old D&D. And that brings me into how we're going to do advancement. So some things are going to be familiar, some things are going to be a little bit different. So I was actually telling Matt about this off screen. So similar to what ended up being the primary mode of advancement in AV, not through my intention, but just how it ended up. But this time it's going to be my intent because of the nature of this being a wilderness crawl where treasure is going to be more far-flung and not as in a like massive abundance in a closed space like a mega dungeon. I will be heavily leaning into my house rules called Feats of Exploration, which gives me just a real quick chance to pimp that out real quick. That is our lone publication at the time. There will be links down below for it that you can buy a PDF and or a hard copy from DriveThruRPG. We have gotten good responses about its utility in old school level-based D&D adjacent games, so go check it out. You will see it in action, and the full rules for it are actually available on our website to go check out. And I will be posting the FOE, the Feats of Exploration XP Awards every single session. There will be a separate worksheet for you to look at. You can go look at the past ones from Ardenwood if you'd like. I have bespoke rewards for Dolmenwood. They are there are some that are the same, some that are different and specific to Dolmenwood that should be fun. More rewards for exploring a hex map rather than a mega dungeon. So just be aware that will be your primary mode of going up. I'm also going to institute the house rule that we ended up adopting in the late, probably like the back half of Ardenwood, which is I will not be preventing you from skipping levels if you get enough XP to do so. All right. So if you have enough XP to jump a level, guess what? You get the jump levels. That will become most in effect with newer characters, assuming someone dies. That they come in as a first level character with a higher level party. They will be able to skip levels and get back to the party average more quickly. And this is a change from Ardent Fool. I'm actually going to institute. I am not going to require you to rest safely to gain a level. The moment that you have the XP, you ding, you get up. Okay, I just don't want to bother with it. You're just gonna get the shit. Okay, so just to kind of keep things moving a little bit quicker. So the feats, real quick. I'm not going to go through the numbers and all that kind of stuff, but these are the things that I want to be very transparent about this. If anyone's using Feats of Exploration, you should also be transparent with your players about what things they should be doing to gain rewards. This is the carrot that you're going to be dangling in front of them, and because you want to encourage them to do these things in the game. Right. So one is these are the ones that you're going to remember. Rumors, confirming a rumor's veracity. Quest, completing a quest. Settlement, this is a new one. If you enter and rest in one of the 16 detailed settlements of Dolmenwood, okay, so you have to get into it and you have to spend at least a night there safely. You get a reward for it. Encourages you to go to all these different cool towns. Dolmen is a new one. If you discover and interact with a summer or nodal stone, you'll find out what those are soon. You'll get a reward. Hex. Every time you enter an unexplored hex for the first time, you get a reward. Trap. Overcoming a trap. Puzzle. Solving a puzzle. Secret. Finding a secret or interpreting hidden lore. Those were all ones from the old game. Faction. Manipulating or crippling a faction to your benefit is a reward. NPC. Interact beneficially with an important NPC when stakes are at play. Lore. Apply in-world lore in a useful or flavorful manner. This is a new one. Shrine. Find and restore a lost shrine to the Plurritine Church.
That's fun.
New one here. Explore. Discover and interact with all features of a single hex. It includes hidden. It's a big reward. You get a big reward for that one. Skills. Use equipment or abilities in an unorthodox yet useful manner. And hazards. Surmount an environmental obstacle or hazard. Those last two were also from the old one. Okay, so those are the kind of things you should be looking to do. Sound good?
No more. Do 5 rooms, we get a bonus.
No, that's been taken over by Explore, right? So that's the interact with the features of a single hex. We're also going to be instituting. We actually had this in AV, but we did it very rarely once we moved into the dungeon. But there'll be carousing and philanthropy. That will gain you a good way to do a money sink and will gain you XP. I made some slight adjustments to my base carousing table, which is available for everyone to see. There will be links down below that are make it a little bit more Dolmenwood specific. So that will be the way that we advance. Okay.
Cool.
All right.
That's awesome.
Okay. So you mark down what you need to get up to second level.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. All right. Let's roll some fun random charts. I think that I'm basically going to require all of you guys to roll on the background chart, but then you can roll for as many of like the physical appearance and desires and beliefs as you want. Like you already have a good picture of what you look like or want to believe in, then you can go with that. I'm fine with it, but I always like random shit, so let's do it. And we'll finish this out with that. Sound good?
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay. It's going to put us a little bit over time. Are you guys okay with that?
Yeah.
Totally good.
Okay. Backgrounds. Let's roll them. Let's start with Mike this time. So roll me a D20.
I got a 15. I am a smuggler.
Great.
Cool.
If you guys rolled the same background, we're going to keep it because it gives you an opportunity to have a reason to have the same background, I think.
Makes sense.
All right, David, you.
My turn. Okay. Let me get to the page. All right. I rolled an 11, which is onion farmer. All right.
You're a thief.
Too.
Yeah.
We should switch, Aaron. We should switch.
Okay. Matt.
Okay, D20 background. That's an 18. I'm a Thatcher.
Thatcher. Wow. All right.
Okay.
All right. That leaves me rolling a. I, in a former life, before taking the holy orders, was a handler of devil goats.
Oh, yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
So you can see down below, they large carnivorous goats bred by certain Bregel nobles for use as fiercely loyal guardians or ceremonial mounts. They're actually pretty nasty. That's pretty cool.
After devil goats, mere sinners is no trouble at all.
Okay, so on the next page, page 35, we actually have a pretty cool illustration of a looks to be a shorthorn Bregel there.
It's more like a sheep.
Yeah, man. Does look a bit sheepish.
Okay, why don't we just all roll simultaneously and for each category and just whip off real quick like what you got on those charts. If you don't want to roll, if you already have an idea, like Ted, if you've got an idea for like tonsure or whatever, you can just go with it and not do fur, for instance, or something. But whatever. Right. Let's do everyone roll a d12 for head who wants to roll.
I'll do it.
I'll roll.
I got an 8. I have a silver stripe in my hair.
Cool.
Okay.
I got a 3 long curly locks. Oh, listen. Oh,
I got a 2. My ears are pierced with nails or rings.
That's dope. Cool. That's cool, man.
I'm gonna go with rings.
Okay.
I'm just going to go with tonsured for my head.
Lame. I'm just kidding.
I'll roll other
I'm
things,
kidding.
don't
I'm
worry.
kidding. I love tonsured. A tonsured
how
Bregel.
about, how about for fun, you roll it just to see what it is, and then you can pick tonsured if it sucks. I'm just curious.
All right.
Tonsurize it.
I rolled a 1. Dented helm with coat of arms, and I can't even wear a helm.
That doesn't make sense. Yeah, so tonsured's much better. I agree. Okay.
Yeah.
Roll d12 for face. Anyone who wants to have a face, roll d12.
Yeah, I'll have a face.
I like a face.
I roll missing
mellow,
teeth.
unflappable face.
Should we go in order? We all talking at the same time.
Chaotic.
That's simultaneously a bad idea. Matt, what'd you get?
Let's see. That's a 4. Golden eyes.
Okay. These should be, if you get the same thing, we should probably, well, you guys can decide if you want to roll again. Golden eyes. Cool. That's awesome. Ted.
Missing teeth.
Nice.
Undoubtedly from being
Perfect.
kicked by a devil goat more than once.
No doubt.
Well, you've been chewing rocks on the road because that's how you keep from,
David.
No, I forage.
What'd you get?
I have black eyes and silver pupils, the color of my targets.
I have a mellow, unflappable face.
That's not on there. You
Go
decide not to
flap.
roll?
You can flap a little bit, Mike. You can flap a little
Number
bit.
9. Oh wait, I'm sorry. I rolled demeanor. I'm an idiot.
I think you got to take the unflappable face.
No.
Prominent scar.
Enter the cave of winds. Your
Prominent
face
scar.
never move at all.
I'm going to keep the same roll, and I have a prominent scar.
Okay, cool.
Counts. Nice fighter.
Fur. D12. Roll them. You can all roll simultaneously, then we'll start with Mike and go around the back way.
Fur.
So roll your dice, everybody. Mike, what'd you get?
I have russet, spiky fur.
Cool. David?
A russet wavy fur.
Goes with the curly locks.
Yeah.
Matt?
Tan coarse fur.
Okay. And Ted?
I also have russet wavy fur, which tracks well with having enough beautiful fur to tonsure it.
Yep. No, you can change that since it's the double. It's up to you.
No.
You like it? Okay, cool. All right. Speech. Anyone who wants to try to match their thing to this, go for it. D12. Everyone roll. We'll start backwards. Matt.
2, circuitous speech.
Oh, okay.
Go well with the wizard.
Ted.
Okay, so I roll a throaty. Yes,
nice.
30.
Okay. David.
I also rolled throaty. What does throaty sound like?
I think it's this, my son. You must always remember to wash behind both your horn, or
It's
God
not
will
like
know.
this. It doesn't bellow like a throat. Okay. Me and Ted are going to be insufferable on this campaign. The fact that we talk the same and have the same haircut is, or fur is really shaping up for something.
Mike.
I rolled a 3. Coarse. I'm assuming that's like coarse language, right? Like just like.
You can. I don't look at it that way, but you can do whatever you want. Yeah, gravelly is what kind of way I look at it. Yeah.
Headbutt that guy right in his knickers.
I think Mike's going to go with the cursing. Yeah.
I think the prominent scar was on your trachea, Mike.
Shit all the time. And
let's do the last appearance one. Dress. So roll a d12 for dress, and we'll start with Mike.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got a 10. What is a 10? Bong and a dashing cape. Hell yes.
That's amazing. That's cool.
What does that even mean? I'm wearing
Under your armor, you're not wearing much.
This would be like, remember everyone gets common clothes? This would be what your common clothes are. So, of course, you still have your
I
armor,
look
but,
like Zardoz.
but you literally have nothing underneath your chainmail. But Zardoz.
Nice.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh my God, Zardoz the goat. That's awesome.
David, what'd you get?
I got a servant's livery. I'm really shaping up to not like their aristocracy, is all I'm saying.
Livery, you heathen.
Livery, sure.
Okay, Matt.
I have a huge hairy overcoat.
Oh, that's
Thank you
awesome.
very much.
Okay, and Ted.
I'll trade you for my thong.
I got patched leather and many pockets, which perhaps I could interpret that as like an apron that I wear over the front of my habit.
Sure, I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
Okay, so demeanor, desires, and beliefs actually do affect like your personality and outlook and stuff like that. So I'm totally fine if you would rather that have a blank slate and just find out as you go. So don't feel.
Can we roll them and then decide whether or not they fit?
Yeah, of course.
on?
Yeah. I'm just saying, don't feel pressured to like
fun.
take them. I like just the fact that they sort of give you insight into the world. They provide some lore, but you do not have to take these. So demeanor, everyone roll a d12. Start with Matt.
All right, I got an 11. All right, I'm a wild hedonist.
Oh, sweet. That's gonna work.
Mauricio, you're back.
Okay.
I also rolled wild hedonist.
See, that's fantastic if you want to take it because you're a friar and you're a magician, and the mandates say that that's one of the proscriptions is against like using arcane magic, right? But the fact that you're both hedonists, like how you actually interpret that, if you want it, I'm just saying it. There's potential there.
You guys met in the opium den.
David.
I got an 11. Wild hedonist. we all met in the same brothel. We definitely all met in
the carousing tables will be brought out. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh my God. I had to break the trend, guys. I got an 8. So I'm jocular with violent outbursts.
That's perfect.
Again,
because you're a fighter too.
I'm not even role playing at this point.
Does life follow fiction, or does fiction follow life? What are we talking about?
Oh, just a bunch of assholes. Fantastic. All right.
I'm so excited for us to have the worst benders known to the Dolmenwood.
Exactly. I might give you guys all bonuses to carousing checks just to get the real bad ones. All right. Desires. Roll d12. We will start with Mike.
I got an 8 again. I want to popularize turnip ale.
That's awesome.
Nice.
What a goal, David.
I got a 12. Travel and discovery.
All right. Basic adventurer sort of stuff.
That's lame though. Can I No, that's fine.
You can re-roll if you want. I don't care.
It's just too milk toast for me, you know.
Then roll it. Roll it again. I don't give a shit.
Let me roll it again.
It's literally what you're doing, though.
Okay, but I rolled a 2 on the second one as escape justice for a past crime, which seems to fit a little bit better. I think.
There you go. Perfect.
Wild hedonist.
Matt.
I rolled a 9. I want to recover ancient Bregel lore.
Jesus, these numbers, these results are hitting. Perfect.
I'm telling you, I'm not very woo-woo, but both with this and our mothership random rolls, they fit type so well. It's kind of crazy.
I rolled a 10, which is restore the high wold to Ramius.
Oh, interesting.
Which I think that's pretty reasonable. He's a legitimate, noble part of the church. Blah blah blah.
That may inform your later choice about what you want, what your goals might be as a group of Bregels, right? Like there's seed there that at least the friar is loyal to Ramius, right? Okay, beliefs. These are kind of fun too. D12. We'll start with Matt.
All right, I got a 10. Oh, might have a little conflict here. Malbleet will rule High Wold.
Well, you might not be, but this is a belief. You just think that is likely to happen. It doesn't mean that you necessarily agree that you're happy about it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I could be servant to this other guy, but think it's doomed. Yeah,
Right, exactly. Yep.
So I rolled a 4, which means that while I am a loyal member of the church, I have a sneaking suspicion that the Bregel Saints are not given the prominence that they're in fact hidden away and suppressed by the church.
That actually fits really pretty well with a friar, as a friar being outside the church hierarchy. That kind of fits, like, you know, like you're down with God, but you're really super pissed off at like the hierarchy for supposedly hiding Bregel Saints, right? That doesn't necessarily, again, mean that it's true. It's just that you believe it to be true. David, what'd you get?
Very appropriate for an onion farmer. I rolled a 5. Daily garlic wards fairy hexes.
Cool. That's the friar about that.
I love it.
And what's that charisma score, David? Just checking to see how that
A
aligns.
14. A 14. So you all fucking believe me. I love garlic. Y'all are gonna smell so bad on this adventure.
We just look past the breath.
Hey, Mike, what'd you get?
I got a 12. The end is nigh.
That's awesome. That's
Well,
cool.
now we know I'm jocular, but violent outbursts.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even know what's happening, man.
I love it.
The one time I met Gavin in person at GaryCon, it was these charts that I gave him my highest compliments on. I was like, these are just absolute gold.
So fun.
Yeah.
They're by far my favorite part of character generation.
Yes.
Okay, now for the
Even
culminating
the
point, the end of our episode 0, to set the scene. Everyone's favorite, the calendar, and when we're starting.
Oh yeah.
And we're gonna roll.
What's affiliation in moon sign, John?
That's also going to be part of it as well.
Okay.
Because the calendar, we're going to talk about moon signs as well, which is a super fun aspect of the game. That also has been slightly changed from the old version as well. So
I'm hoping for Dead of Winter. I will put $20 down on a bet. What do you guys got?
well, here's the
Over
deal.
under?
Here's it. Hold on. So
Sorry.
real quick, as I said, I haven't determined the actual number of the year. It really doesn't mean that much. Well, I'm going to pick something at random. The year is 12 months, 7-day weeks, total of 352 days. The days of the week have 7 days, and I'm not going to give them to you right now, but they always the first day of the month is always Kali, the way that the math works out. So like the number of the day of the month will always just be associated with a very specific day of the week, right? It doesn't sort of change like our calendar does, right? Like Kali will always be the first, right? Kime will also always be the second, that sort of thing. There are also what are called Wizen days, which are some months have Wizen days at the end with their own unique names. They're not regarded as being part of any week. They are separate intercalary days. Each month has 4 standard weeks, and there are a number of Dolmenwood wide feast days that everyone celebrates. But then there's a lot of days in the calendar are associated with the feasts of certain saints, but they're rarely celebrated region wide. They're usually localized to like wherever that saint is propitiated or worshipped. Okay, so here's the deal. So there's 12 months in the year. As anyone who's a fan of 3D6 TTL probably remembers, the defining factor of the first campaign was the fact that we actually rolled randomly, like we're about to do now, and we hit winter. That caused much consternation and changed the whole flavor of the campaign. It was awesome. It was really, really cool. Yeah. But I'm going to make the ruling that because we did winter, and it was so tied to that campaign, I'm going to take winter off the table. Okay, as a starting season.
Fair.
Yeah. So
I'm still alive.
I just want this campaign to be markedly different, and weather has such an effect on a Hexcrawl. I just don't want it to be in any way sort of duplicative of our previous
I
experience.
get that. I agree. Yeah. That sounds smart.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to limit it. If you're looking at page 174 with a list of months, I'm going to limit it to Simswald, which is the onset of spring, to Reed Rime, which is the onset of autumn. So I'm taking off the deep autumn, fading of autumn, and the winter months. Okay, so I don't want to do like late fall because that just means that we're going to be rolling right into winter. At least we'll have like all of fall before we get to winter at most. Okay, all right. Don't give me that face, Ted. It is what it is. All right.
That was not a face. I was probably sniffing or something.
Okay. All right, so what I want you to do is roll me a D8. Someone roll me a D8 and re-roll an 8 because we're talking about a span of 7 months here.
1, 2, 3, got it.
I'll do it. Okay, D8. Here we
Campaign's fate is in your hands, Matt.
go. That's a 4.
A 4. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to be in the month of Chysting, Chysting. That is the onset of summer, the beginning of summer.
Okay.
It has 31 days in it. And so to determine which of those 31 days, I want someone to roll me a D4.
I got it. 2.
Okay, and then someone roll me a D10.
I got it. 7.
7, okay. 7, 2. So that is going to be the 17th of Chysting. Let me write that down real quick so I know.
Nice.
How do you spell Chysting again?
Chysting.
Chysting. Okay, got it.
Okay. Now, so that's when we're starting. That's good. Summer. It's going to be great. The moon signs. This is really, really fun. Now, this is different. It used to be, and this is one of the options. I'm going to give you 2 options, basically. The one option is the old way, which is moon signs are unalterable, and they're assigned to you at birth. Okay, so we just roll on the chart, and you in all the moon phases, and it gets you kind of a special mechanical bonus in very specific situations that is unalterable. That your character will always have this, or we can do this new way, which is, and again, I really do not have a preference. I just like that there is another option. The other way,
it makes you like the new way.
I know, I totally said it like I liked it. I know, but I'm just, it's an interesting thing an interesting dilemma. So the other way that we can do it is that the moon phase effects are applicable to all mortals, which means you, depending on the actual phases in the sky and change according to the cycles, which means that every mortal in Dolmenwood, including you, gets the benefits, but the benefits change as the phases of the moon change.
So everybody's the same.
Which means I would track not only the calendar, but also the moon phases. What would you prefer?
Does that feel like
I prefer the first rather than the second. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, does that feel like it's a lot more bookkeeping for you, or?
I don't mind. It'll be fun. So it's just
Oh, well then, yeah.
Personally, I prefer the first just because it creates more diversity. I really like the concept of the second, but it homogenizes in a way that I find less interesting. That's just my opinion.
I'm inclined to agree with David with the caveat that I recall from the previous one that some people got moon sign bonuses that simply never came up.
Correct. That is a possibility.
But I think that's fun. Part of the fun of the risk, to be honest, for me.
I guess
there's also a shorter campaign.
About the second one is that, given our rate of play in Arden Vool, where it was like we played for 2 years real life and only like 2 months went by. I don't know.
Yeah, we could be doing the same thing for a long time.
Let's do the first one then. I think the first one sounds like consensus.
Change, Sean. Monthly or daily or weekly or
it changes according. There's a waxing, a waning, and a full moon, and then the cycle is like a month. You know what I mean?
So like once a week, the moon's changing,
something like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. I don't know. I vote 1.
I like the first one because we'll get new ones when we die and have new guys anyway.
Exactly. We encounter more features that way, I think.
Okay. That's fine. Okay,
John's
so
disappointed right now.
Yeah, it's fine. Whatever. It's cool. Mike, roll D100, Mike. Everyone roll a D100. Okay. We'll start with Mike.
Okay. 31.
31. Okay, the waxing knight's moon. That's knight as in like a fighting knight. A Knigget, as they say.
Knigget. Ooh.
You gain a +2 bonus to charisma when interacting with nobles. That's pretty cool.
Okay.
Write it down. The waxing night moon. David, what'd you get?
I got a 49.
49. The waxing maiden's moon. +2 charisma when interacting with demi-fae. So that is literally in, as far as you know, only wood grew.
Okay.
John, is that a +2 charisma modifier or a +2 to the charisma score?
Score. Maximum 18. Okay. Matt, what'd you get?
Yeah, I'll roll it now. An 85.
85. The waxing narrow moon. +2 bonus to charisma. When interacting with fairies, but you suffer a -1 penalty to all saving throws against fairy magic.
Okay, that's not great.
It's always a price with fairy. And Ted, what'd you get?
75.
75. Though everyone got a waxing moon. Interesting. A waxing goat moon, Ted.
Oh.
Everyone got +2 bonuses to charisma too. So glad you guys chose option number 1 when interacting with Breggles.
Listen, we can re-roll. Nothing's stopping us.
+2 bonus to charisma when interacting with Breggles, including Crookhorns, which are the twisted, corrupted Breggles underneath the Naglord's sway.
That's great.
So with us too?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. You're very convincing, Ted. You're very pious. Convincing in your piety.
That's awesome.
Okay.
It's the goat moon that led me to be convincing to those devil goats too.
Right.
They heeded my word, I tell you. They heeded me.
All right, so we got a really cool party shaping up. I've already got ideas and stuff floating around. We'll hash out some of this stuff off screen, but these characters are cool. I dig them.
Yeah, me too.
Names. I would not give short shrift to the random table for Breggle names. They are really cool. If you have an idea for your own name, I would look at that chart anyways and perhaps base it upon that naming scheme, because like the Breggle language, the gap is really kind of cool, and kind of gives it flavor. So
I made up my own first name and then I took one of the last names from the chart.
Okay. What is it?
I also have a name. Yeah. Go ahead.
Or Greg Blathergripe.
Gorgreg? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Gorgreg. Cool. Blathergripe? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Does anyone else have a name?
I do.
Okay.
First name.
Have you met us, John?
Okay.
Sorry, David, go ahead.
Taru. Taru. Last name that he adopted, let's say Mudclump.
Mudclump.
Isn't this your third Mud Club?
It is my third Mudclump.
Oh,
Okay.
no. We got to count.
Doesn't matter. Ted, do you have a name? You don't have to.
I do.
Okay.
I do. Freydal Bluehorn.
How do you spell the first name?
Freydal. And then Bluehorn, like you'd think.
Okay. And Matt.
I'm bucking the trend. I don't know his name yet.
Okay, cool.
Caves under pressure. Clutch or kick, Matt.
All right. Okay, so that's cool. All right, looks pretty fun party shaping up here. So good times ahead. All right, so next episode we'll start off the campaign. That episode 1 will also be free to the public, just like all of our other content. Just a reminder to everyone that following episode 1. You must be a Patreon subscriber to gain access to this exclusive campaign moving forward. So please check out our Patreon. The link for that will be down below in the description, and there will also be a QR code on the right side of your screen at the end of this episode that you can just scan your phone and go right there. And we would appreciate any support that you can give. That would be very, very helpful for us. It keeps us motivated to keep on going. Don't forget that we have other Dolmenwood content on the channel. We have our original 22-episode campaign set in winter. You get to watch Ted play Argus the Fighter with a 5-con and suffer. It's quite enjoyable. That uses the OSE rules prior to Dolmenwood changing to its own set of rules. We also have the Red Cap's Cauldron Adventure, which was really fun.
That was great.
That used actually the Dolmenwood rules, the actual rules, before they were actually finished, but we used those. Really highly whimsical, and it was set in a fairy dungeon realm. Whimsy was turned up to 11, as Matt would say. And then the last content we have is for those who are interested in Dolmenwood as a product itself. I did a series of deep dives into each of the core books, the player's book, the campaign book, and the monster book, where you just get to see me just talk my ass off like I did this episode, where I just go through every page of the book pretty much. I go extremely deep, multiple hours into each book. So it was at that time the PDF, the complete PDFs had just been released in their first form, so they were not completely done, but he had essentially assembled all of his separate PDFs into one. So there is some missing content in there, but I did a deep dive on all the content that was available at that time. It'll definitely give you a really, really good overview of the product. And don't forget to check out our other campaigns. We have the Halls of Ardville Mega Dungeon, 115 episodes. That's our crown jewel at the moment. Mothership Gradient Descent, which is currently ongoing. And we also have a series of cool, fun amuse-bouche, as we call them, little tastes of 1, 2, or 3 shots where we do short side jaunts into games that we're just interested in playing and trying out, but perhaps not dedicating a full campaign to. We've done a couple of Shadow Dark ones where Mike is at the helm and where Ted is at the helm. And then Mike also just recently ran us through a 3-part Pirate Borg adventure, which was also very fun. So go check those out.
Indeed.
And that'll do it for episode 0 of the Return to Dolmenwood campaign. We are psyched to go back into the Enchanted Forest.
This is going to be so much fun.
And do it all with goat folk. That should be super fun. So thank you all for watching and are listening to 3D6 Down the Line, the most criminally underwatched actual play series on the internet. Please don't forget to do your solemn duty, which is to like and subscribe. Hit the bell icon to get notifications every time we publish new material on YouTube. Thank you, as always, to all of our Patreon members, our explorers, our delvers, and of course, our conquerors. Ted has the distinct pleasure of reading those names aloud. Go forward, Ted.
All right, conquerors, we love you, and we love you in this order. I will not say whether it is high to low or low to high. It is simply this order.
Oh, this is a good trend. I like this theme.
Emmy 1997, Eric Manley, Todd Jeffcoat, Tyler Hackenberg, Christo Lute, Jofo, Brutes Monkeys, Joshua Owens, The Mighty Martian, Christopher Bishop, Banana Hammock, AJ, Joe, Michael Sauer, Adam Lovelace, Desiree Marcel, Grizz Loves Games, Dustin Reedy, Benjamin, King of Zoops, Rock of Sages, Arcane Lane, MP, Todd, Brawler Jake Ain't Joshin, Around, DM Dr. Rob, Robert Kenyon, Steve, Jeff Marino, Alan Barton, Eric Tsunami, MD, Samuel Dillon, Yesterday's Glory, Mike Small, Richard Barton, Isaac 2D10 plus 25 DTL Spencer, James Boyle, Doc Jones 73, Jackson Bates, John Hooker, Mordrew, Zachary Hall, Saps, Papa Bear DM, Zach Shiflett, Mercury 605, Ruben K, No Eggs Dard Jr., Procyon, Dakota Nielsen, Cam, Stephen Quisenberry, John and La Logan, Kobrowski's, Magic Meat Machine, Tom Leary, Phil, Nakanu, Nick, Eric Lawson, Mando NZ, Faisal, Ted Gast, James Doig, Nefarious Gamer, Grunt, Andrew Schroker, Adam and Nora, MM, Michael Schilling, Stefano Di Maiolo, Ash Gabrielle, Chungas, Brawler Josh Ain't All Jake, Iona, Michael Walker, Han Dandler, Summon Toast, Too Rude, Too Ishvin, Dungeon Heart Adam, Scott Yearsley, Mech Jack, Kick Maniac, Dire Grew, Tom Eric Garrettson, and then I think Matt's been messing with these names here. They look all, there's a bunch of Matts. I don't know. Matthew Mattis, Matt Walsh, Matt Mason, Matt Koenig, Matt Young.
So many Matts.
Thank you, everyone.
Yes, thank you all. Yes.
I was just counting as we're going. I think we hit 100 conquerors, which is mind blowing.
Yeah.
Well done, everybody.
If I counted correct. Thank you, everyone. I never would have
for
thought
you.
that would ever happen. So cheers.
Yeah, we really do appreciate all of your support, everybody. And we look forward to all of you guys being able to enjoy the Dolmenwood campaign as we release it on Patreon. So thanks, everyone. We really do appreciate it. Elvis also says goodbye. Say goodbye, Elvis.
Bye, Elvis. He's a good boy.
Everyone have a great week, and we will see you next time. Take care.
See you later. Thank you, John.
Thanks,
Thanks, John.